fight, flight. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to go run towards Charlie if he gets shot and jump down, or I'm going to like grab my kids, make sure they're safe and get out of here. But they were like doing selfie. I mean, like, is that weird to film yourself? Like, yeah, it's weird. So I'm not going to pretend it's not weird. Like, because it matters. Like, was his life real? And that thought troubles me more than anything else. Like, was Charlie Kirk's life real is what I think I cried the hardest about. Like, was anything in his life real? Because how are you not fighting for him? He fought for all of you. You all exist because of Charlie. And then he went to Sigmund Freud and said this, and Sigmund Freud by then was initiated into the Kabbalah, and he got literally the entire community came out against this guy. He ended up having a mental breakdown because he couldn't understand how everyone that he trusted was gaslighting him and doing all these things. But in that chapter, it speaks about how after he died, the very people that drove him crazy rushed to eulogize him. It's one of their tactics. They need to control the legacy, and it's a way for them to deal with their guilt. And so when I saw, because of my mindset, having studied Sigmund Freud, but when I saw Bibi rush, it was very strange to me. It was just weird. You know, it was just like, what are we doing here? Like, you've got a lot going on. You're busy. You seem busy. Busy. And you're doing Fox News hits and another, like, it just, to people, looked a little suspicious, okay? And so I think that people are now trying to think this is like the cult of Candace. No, I'm actually just addressing what everybody's feeling and seeing. Yeah. And they're like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, we're all thinking this is kind of weird, right? Like, that's not normal. Exactly. And then they're like, how dare anybody voice how the majority of people around the world are feeling about this not feeling organic, the grief not seeming organic from Turning Point USA executives. I felt that way too.
I can give you another thing on that, is that when I was in the middle of, like, when I said that in the UK, don't vote, it's pointless. It's one party governs it anyway, right? When I said that, there was like so much energy and so much power around it. I couldn't believe it. And it's 2015, so it was an earlier incarnation of the online space. And when I knew I'd hit a nerve and said things, and people were like, yeah, that's what I feel, that's what we feel, we all feel that. The mistake I made was, yes, I am important. That's how I interpreted that information. And like, I mustn't do that again, because it's going to keep happening. Yeah. I think this is what I'm taking from this. I think it's very important that we create alliances in Christ and under his blood and by his name. I think that's super important. And I think it's very important that individually we don't fall into the OG sin of disobedience, whether it's Eve disobedience or Lucifer disobedience of thinking you can run your own circuit, or Eve disobedience of, so that was curiosity. That was curiosity. Hey, maybe the apples, maybe we can't trust God. Right. So I reckon whatever it is in us, you don't have homosexuality. I don't have homosexuality, however you want to frame that. If you want to take a Christian purview, and we are Christians, so we will. But what we do have, you have inquiry and tenacity and constant engagement and jabbing, which is a great and unbelievable bold power, and you're absolutely phenomenal, incredible. So just add that. And I have self-interest. I fall into sort of narcissism. I get very interested in me.
Did you find yourself scared though, like considering like, okay, you either saw yourself, as I think we all did, of like, this could have happened to me, but what was scarier, what happened to him or what happened after? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, are you guys, like, you're my friends, right? You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna, if this happens and there's questions, you're gonna go hard, right? Like, and I think that also made people uncomfortable because he gave so much to Trump, right? And Trump is ostensibly the most powerful man, and Trump will demand an investigation into like who said like he looked like he was balding in a picture, right? Like vain things. And it's like, this kid killed himself for years to get you elected, and he was just like, oh, just gonna post a photo of him with an Israeli flag, loved ya, gives this kind of like not fulfilling or substance speech rather. And I think that disturbed me even more. It was like not even what happened to him, it was like the aftermath of what happened to him, where I was like expecting, like I said, genuinely, like I was expecting like we're all getting the old band back together and it's going to be me and Trump and like and I'm going to have the FBI help me investigate this, and we're going to figure out what happened to my friend. And it was like, Candace is the enemy for asking questions. And I think that scares me and scares the public more because, as I said, it kind of signals that that Charlie's life could have been the Truman Show. That terrifies me more, that nothing in your life is real. We actually had the human experience. We were the ones that were living in reality. And then they were trying to make it like a mass psychotic event to tell us that like what you're feeling is, these are his best friends. I'm like, okay, but like two reactions, right? Fight, flight. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go run towards Charlie if he gets shot and jump down, or I'm gonna like grab my kids, make sure they're safe and get out of here. But they were like doing selfie. I mean, like, is that weird to film yourself? Like, yeah, it's weird. So I'm not gonna pretend it's not weird, like, because it matters. Like, was his life real? And that thought troubles me more than anything else. Like, was Charlie Kirk's life real is what I think I cried the hardest about. Like, was anything in his life real? Because how are you not fighting for him? He fought for all of you. You all exist because of Charlie. This was his company. You know what I mean? But you know what happened? His company got bigger than him. And that's why my team is small. That's why we're in a basement. That's why I don't like Candace's media empire. This is not a media. This is what they're calling a media empire, by the way. It's being run by toddlers, just so you know. I love it. You know, it's like you have to have real substance in your life. And
do you like gambling? It's dangerous. It's bad for you. Don't do it. But if you do it, use Polymarket. You can gamble on anything. If you follow politics, you know everyone's got an opinion. Your group chats, pundits, and of course me. We've all got opinions, right? But Polymarket can actually get real odds on what's likely to happen. Why don't you gamble your way to the top? Like Biff in Back to the Future 2 when he got that almanac. You will be like Biff. Polymarket is a prediction market where people trade on real events, elections, debates, policy moves, erections, and honestly, it's great. And it doesn't stop at politics. There are markets on the economy, tech, sports, pop culture, erections, and even weird stuff that takes over the internet for a week. It's all live, it's transparent, and it gives you a vibe check on what people really think. Oh, look at these people on Epstein Island. Who knew? You stinking, filthy perverts. Not you, I mean them. You didn't go to Epstein Island, did you? You were just at home. What was the worst thing you've done? Looked at porn. Shouldn't do that either, actually. And if you look at Polymarkets, you can gamble on why and what type of porn. Oh, look at that, big boobs. Black versus white, using their winkies as swords. I don't know. Sith versus Jedi. Work it out for yourselves using Polymarket. See you later, baby.
I mean, look, Erica thing is like you can. There's one of the. You got to be at some level terrified, right? So it's like, it's one of two things. It's either the greatest evil that ever happened, or she's terrified and she's in this position. And I think the mistake they made, and I've said on my podcast, she should have never become the CEO and chairman overnight. Because now when people have questions, you got to answer them, right? Now you're not just a grieving widow, which there has to be respectability for and space and allowing her to be a mother. But you very quickly decided that you were equipped to be Charlie. Well, guess what? That's going to be a trial by fire, okay? Charlie had to go through it. It's painful. The public's going to go through every layer of your life. They're going to I still read things about myself. I find them sometimes to be convincing. I'll be so down far the rabbit hole where I'm like, wait, Charlie, I'm like, is my husband sent to me from the Rothschilds? I'm like, George, answer this question. He's like, get off of Instagram. Okay, but I mean, like, there's constantly a public inquiry into every part of her life because they do not believe that me and Charlie met that night. They do not believe that story. I mean, then me and George met that night. I'm like, but that's really how it happened, you know? And so people go, it's not fair. You can't do what we call this is the post-school shooting thing, which is like a school shooting is such a tragic event. And then suddenly they're like, you have to listen to David Hogg and you can't question David Hogg. It's like, but I got effing questions for David Hogg, right? If you're now going to say that I have to accept him as a political leader, I'm sorry this tragedy happened to you, it's fair for me to say, David Hogg, I have why are you on CNN? And I think that's happening. And so people are feeling like, hey, it's not fair to ask her any questions because her husband just died. Okay, but they should have put in place an interim CEO. Like, that's what any company would do. You would just say, for a couple of months, we got to figure things out. The COO is going to become the CEO and give everybody time to grieve and kind of address the fact that this is like a new company and like we've got to figure things out without the head of the company, you know? So I think they made a managerial error.
With our analytics, do you agree that we can't assume malevolence where ineptitude will do?
100%.
Like in a kind of innocent till proven guilty way, that it, like, I tell you why, I just saw, like, after I'd seen probably, I'm assuming something that, about her, the way she was embracing JD Vance, right? I sort of saw her on, I think, Megyn Kelly, and I swear I didn't even stop the swipe to watch it, but the way that she just went, she was saying to Megyn Kelly, like, oh my, even the way that I had, like, it was like she was having her version of what you're saying it's like when people say, did the Rothschilds send you George?
Right.
Or what I feel like it's like
Right.
when people go, you've got 33 tattooed on your list, you must have been doing stupid cocaine. So I, like, because of the position you're in, I believe we have to use our discernment that we have to apply when we read stuff about ourselves to them. I remember really early on, there's a Chelsea footballer, Frank Lampard. I was like reading stories about myself, like in the Sun newspaper, when it was print newspaper, they were like, Russell Brand womanizer threesome, and then like probably saying something mean about me. And like, oh, what a lot of filthy bullshit. And then the next page was Frank Lampard, this footballer. And I was like, yeah, fuck Frank Lampard. Like I believed that stuff because it was convenient.
And that's why I said it's like, that's why I didn't jump on this, like the hug and like it's all that just seems ridiculous. But I also don't think it's ridiculous because we go through it every day. So that's just part of, you're now going to be a public figure. You were a wife, now you're a public figure. Welcome to the club. You know what I mean? Like, and she's got to deal with it. So we can't be like, well, sympathy voted in. We can talk about Russell's tattoos and Candace's husbands, but we can't talk about Erica. It's like, that's why they made the mistake of instantly saying she's going to take over Turning Point. So it's, all is fair in love and war is what I mean. It's like that, if you're going to be in that position, everyone goes through it. You're going through it. I'm going through it every day. That's what it means to be. It's the downsides of fame. Like, they're going to go through every area of your life. So I think, it's not fair, but it's fair. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone does it. It's just a part of being in the public eye. Like, everything. I mean, I could do my hands like this, and they'll be like, it's a sign that she's sending. Yeah. Like, I literally, like, when I think I do this, and they caught me doing this, and then they said it was like the rock symbol or whatever. What do they say the symbol is? Like, Illuminati.
That's Illuminati.
Yeah, they say that I was doing Illuminati. So I had to stop this habit of whenever I'm thinking, whenever I think I do this, like, I'd be like on my shit, and
Jesus, no, just
and then so someone caught me doing that in this thing, and they were like, she's doing the Illuminati, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I say that's conspiracy theory, Nazi salute. Like,
exactly.
If you wave at someone,
like, hey.
only wave at, don't wave at
right,
someone.
exactly.
Careful, you're anti-Semite.
Here's okay.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a look at this one over here, or join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Rumble.